power poles has become the de facto standard for power connections in amateur radio. And to the right here, we have some genuine Anderson power poles. And to the left here, we got some Chinese power poles. So today we're going to do two things. First of all, we're going to see how to mount the power poles. And secondly, we're going to check if there are any differences between the Chinese ones and the original ones, especially since the Chinese ones are about half the price. So hang on after the intro and we'll start connecting the power poles. In order to connect the power poles, you will need a couple of things. First of all, you will need a wire to crimp the power poles on. You will need a set of power pole crimpers. I got these on AliExpress for, I guess, about $15 US. You will need a pair of strippers, and it's kind of hard to say that without laughing. You don't need, but it's always good to have a pair of cutters nearby. So let's get started. For starters, we'll take the wire here and strip up a little piece of wire on both. And these are cheap strippers, cheap wire strippers, that is. And you just twist the wire around a little bit. And now for the orientation of the power poles. You can see there's a little bit of a lip here. If you keep the lip down and the connector is facing away from you, red is always right. And this takes a little bit of practice to get going. Then you take the power pole crimpers. These are 30 amp power poles. Insert into the cable, and the cables are just a little bit too thick, so we'll trim off a little bit later. This is just for demonstration purposes. Insert the centerpiece and you crimp. And you just trim off any excess wire. Do the same with the black one. And again, this is just for demonstration purposes, so we'll just leave the little bit of wire outside here. And I'm sure many of you will comment on that. Crimp. Let's just cut off the excess wire here so we're sure we don't short anything. And just take the power poles and slide them in until you hear them click. I like to do these one by one and connect them when I'm done, just so I get a little bit more of a wiggle room. What your preferences might vary from mine. But as you can see now, lip down, red on the right, away from you. That's one side with the original Anderson power poles. And let's do the same with the Chinese ones. Right now there is an issue because these ones are a lot harder to push in. I'll be right back. So I've added one more piece to my toolkit here now, a small screwdriver, which sometimes helps. When I can't get it pushed in. So I had to do these off camera. It took a lot of force to get them fitted. But they are on. So what we got here is a pair of genuine Anderson power poles on the right here, or on the right here, and a pair of Chinese copies here. They look pretty much the same. They work pretty much the same. They snap together like this. But the original ones are about twice the price. And that's worth it, to be honest. Get yourself a pair of Anderson power poles, or a set of MFJ branded power poles instead of the Chinese copies. The Chinese copies are cheaper and you can certainly make them work, but it just takes a lot more effort to get them crimped and mounted. So my clear recommendation is get yourself a pair of genuine ones. You can find them at any ham radio store, pretty much. If you're looking for these Chinese power pole connectors, you can find them everywhere: Amazon, eBay, AliExpress. I'll put a link down here for the Chinese set of power poles that I bought, if you'd like to save some money. But if you've never done power poles before, do yourself a favor and get the original ones. So thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, 7-3.